Action!
Apollo, maybe I can help here. Really? What do you mean? Yeah, I can hear it. The discord in his heart. I sensed an unusual emotion in the mayor's memory of the event. Okay, I just hope our findings don't come back to haunt us again. Alright, time to open up the computer. Right, barely conscious was Damien there amid the darkness. Suddenly, two yokai did appear. On one side, I, Tenma Taro, ruler of the demon kind. And on the other, my mortal enemy, the nine-tailed fox. Why are you happy?
Got it!
Yeah, okay, that was quite easy. When the nine-tailed fox appeared, you not only experienced shock and sadness, but also something like joy as well. It's so funny we got this whole like emotion, sort of like joy, happiness, sadness, fear in this game, while also me and Sophie are streaming Life is Strange True Colors, which also deals with emotions. Parallels. But also something like joy as well. Joy. Perhaps it was a joy at the light coming to my eyes at long last. A long and terrible creaking did pierce the silence. And then there was light. On reflection, it was a door that did produce that infernal racket. A creaking door. Oh, you must be talking about the Forbidden Chamber door. It does make a lot of noise. So this means the Forbidden Chamber really was opened. But what about the sudden light you described? I think I know. He mentioned darkness and Tenma Taro towering over her head. Maybe the mayor wasn't really in the Fox Chamber at the time of the crime. Mr. Mayor, did the darkness that you were in happen to be here? There are no lights in the Forbidden Chamber, were there? Or no windows either. The Forbidden Chamber? Was it not the Fox Chamber where the murder did occur? Yes, but it all makes sense if you were in the Forbidden Chamber. That terrible creaking sound was probably the Forbidden Chamber's door opening. Oh wait, someone did talk about like the glare of the light glare blinding them. I think Filch said that because it's dark in there, and when they opened the door, there was like a glare hitting his eyes. I think there was dialogue about that. And the towering Tenma Taro you saw, most likely the Forbidden Chamber statue. Why, yes, that would explain it. I forgot about the statue, not gonna lie. The darkness and the staff and the demon's grasp. But even if all that's true, then what about the nine-tailed fox? Maybe he was seeing things, just like Jinxie and her imaginary yokai. Fantastico, Apollo. It's entirely possible. In a groggy dreamlike state, people can misremember things and events. Misremember, you say? Let me think. I do believe I remember now. That was not the nine-tailed fox. It was the amazing nine-tails. What? The amazing nine-tails? Oh man, at first this is but a dream, I thought. Now, however, most clearly do I recall it. It was the amazing nine-tails who did open the Forbidden Chamber's door. Ooh, noise level going down. I'm sorry I asked. The amazing nine-tails? That was the victim. Alderman QB, right? Yeah, why would he open the Forbidden Chamber? Wasn't he trying to keep it sealed? Never mind that. This is completely new information. Let me enter it and run an update. Okay. information update. Made the darkness a mighty statue of Temur Tower loomed ahead. Suddenly the door open, fierce light. The amazing Nine Tails. Wait, go back. No sadness when the light pierced the gloom. Sadness when the amazing Nine Tails. Can I save? I can save. I reckon it's the sadness that's showing up there.
Got it!
There we go. When the amazing Nine Tails opened the chamber, banishing the darkness within, you felt joy. But didn't you also feel a bit of shock and sadness? Yes, in the hazy depths of my mind, I do recollect something of that nature. I believe it was the Fiend's Cape of Red. Huh? The Fiend's Cape of Red. For when I did behold it, a great wave of sadness did inexplicably wash over me. Cape of Red. Apollo, we've reduced the noise level. Oh, but there's still a little left. Mayor Tenma, why were you sad when you saw the red cape? Does he have a red cape? Did I forget that? He doesn't have a red cape. Why indeed? What could this mean? I guess his memory is still a little spotty. I know because his latest recollection contradicts the evidence. Yeah, it's one of those contradictions that slaps you right across the face. Something this obvious could arise when someone's trying to force a fuzzy memory into a definitive shape. Apollo, I know what you have to do. You need to present evidence that contradicts the image you see. Oh, so it's basically the same thing as cross-examination. Right. He doesn't have a red cape. I just looked at it.
Objection!
Yeah. You said that the amazing Nine Tails cape was red. Are you sure about that? Yes, well, I do believe it was a red cape I saw, but... Mayor Tenma, does this cape look red to you? Oh, that certainly does not look red. Not even the scarlet or crimson either. Oh, either. Nevertheless, upon my liberation, something red did fill my yet hazy field of view. And I thought to myself, the amazing Nine Tails is arrayed in a cape of red. So you mistook that red something for his cape. What could that have been? What could that have been? Apparently so, and remembering it now, it brings a great sadness upon me. So the red something probably wasn't a cape after all. Maybe that great sadness he mentioned is what's interfering with his memory. Well, he would have seen the fox chamber behind the amazing Nine Tails. What red object could he have seen there that was so shocking? I know. Could it have been... blood? It's the only thing I can think of. Let me save.
Take that!
No? Something red that can produce a deep sadness. Could it have been Mr. Tenma? Could it be, Mr. Tenma, that what you saw was the alderman's blood? Blood? Why, yes, it was blood. Ooh, he's bugging out. It's all coming back to me now. It wasn't a red cape that I saw. It was lying behind the amazing Nine Tails alderman's bloody body. Huh? Interesting. Interesting. Oh, yeah, sorry. His noise level's down to 0. I think he remembers everything now. Does this mean that the Amazing Ninetales killed Alderman QB? But the Alderman was the Amazing Ninetales, so how exactly would that work? Hey, I asked you first. Well, Mr. Justice, you sure know how to make a complicated matter even more complicated. True, but at the time of the crime, our client was in the Forbidden Chamber. Moreover, objection or silence.
Silence.
There we go. Boy, don't you think this strange? The little scamp has already confirmed her father to be in the Fox Chamber, but she said naught about seeing the Amazing Ninetales there. Ugh, you just had to bring that up, didn't you? Jinxie didn't see LaBelle there either. So weird. Who really was in that room then? Would the defense care to share any theories with the court? Can you explain the inconsistency between the defendant's testimony and his daughter's? I can't, but I better say I can. Of course I can. I can explain it, because if I don't, we're in trouble. Not with more of your bluffs and fairy tales, I trust. Fair warning, Justice Donner. I shall have your head if you fail to explain this. What a good old-fashioned penalty. What about a good old-fashioned penalty? Well, Mr. Justice, let's see if you have a head worth keeping on your shoulders. First of all, Mr. LaBelle was definitely in the Fox Chamber while it was locked. We also know that Mayor Tenma was in the Forbidden Chamber based on his testimony. These two facts are crucial to my explanation. So let us consider the following question. Wait. If the facts point to Florent LaBelle and the victim being there at the scene... Wait, M is Mayor Tenma, A is Alderman, L is LaBelle, J is Jinxie. Why did Jinxie see the victim and her father, Mayor Tenma? Very good question indeed. And I suppose you have an answer for us? Sadly, you would be supposing wrong. You think she could have mistaken LaBelle for the mayor? Well, if she did, then the question is, why did she do that? Well, how about that explanation, Mr. Justice? I believe the time for questions is over. The defense asserts that Florent LaBelle was at the scene of the crime. However, Jinxie Tenma has testified that she saw her father collapse there. If she has in fact misremembered the event, what could have made her do so? All of these answers are crazy talk, but this one makes some modicum of sense. I'm not super confident. The figure, I'm fucking right. The figure Miss Tenma saw was not her father. It was Florent LaBelle, disguised as Damien Tenma.
Silence.
That is a complete impossibility. Their faces are utterly unalike. How could you explain that away with a mere disguise? Yes, they both do have incredibly distinctive faces. Maybe the disguise completely hid his face. I think Jinxie would have mentioned if she couldn't see her father's face. And if it was that sort of disguise, wouldn't she have removed it? Oh, right. Your sword is as dull as your mind, Justice Donor. Shall I show you what a truly sharp blade is capable of? I think I'll put... Woof! Oh, it actually took me out. Does he actually have a sword? Are you okay, Apollo? I'm not fine, am I? Well, now that we have that little fairy tale out of the way, your boldness, your verdict, if you will. Mr. Justice, I believe it's time for a verdict if you have no further arguments. What's even left for me to do? Apollo, remember what Mr. Wright always says? When you're stuck in a tight spot, turn the case upside down. I'm already with it, by the way. This is why I looked at this earlier. Because I was thinking, well, if Tenma saw Amazing Ninetales opening the door for him, but mistook the red cape for blood seeping out of Alderman QB already on the floor, then who was that posing as the Amazing Ninetales. So I went into this because I wanted to look at this sentence that says white hair inside, right? I'm like, well, yes, it would have white hair inside because obviously Rex has been using it. But who do we know that has the ability to change their hair color at any time? It is Florent LaBelle. Right now, his hair is green. We've seen it blue. We've seen it purple. Color me LaBelle. Hair color that washes out with water. That's where I'm going with this anyway. But I don't quite see how it applies here. Still, never hurts to give it a try, I guess. Let's see. Rather than Jinxie didn't remove the disguise, maybe she couldn't remove it. And rather than she didn't tell anyone about the disguise, maybe it was she couldn't talk about it. A wrestler's mask is more precious than his own life. He never unmasked himself in front of others, but there are matches where wrestlers battle for the right to remove each other's masks. To have your mask torn off is the worst humiliation a wrestler can suffer. That's why their masks are more important to them than life itself. And what about the fact that it was the Amazing Ninetales that opened the door? A mask that can't be removed in front of others. Can these facts turn things around? We got it all backwards. Apollo, I think we might have made a huge mistake. Your boldness, I see no need to further indulge them in their silly little farce. The defense has no proof. They never did and never will.
Objection!
I do have proof. Do you now? Ooh, do you see the way his eyes glowed? All right, but this better be good, Mr. Justice. We can solve the remaining riddles by turning all of our assumptions upside down. Why Jinxie Temna mistook Mr. LaBelle for her father? Why she couldn't remove the costume or tell anyone about it in the first place. These riddles are inextricably linked to Mayor Tenma's secret identity. Really? No. Real? A shocking secret identity that will turn the entire premise of this case upside down. This piece of evidence clearly reveals? Surely not. I heard something in the chat. What was that? Hydrate? Yeah, you're right. Surely not. Surely not. On guard? What an absolute claptrap. Poppycop, boulder dash. We thought the alderman was the Amazing Ninetales and the mayor was Tenmatara. That's why we believe the mayor killed the alderman in his lust for Ninetales Vale. And it was the basis for the prosecution's entire case against our client. However, we got the whole thing backwards. Mayor Tenma wasn't Tenmatara at all. He was the Amazing Ninetales. I didn't fucking see that one coming. I didn't see that one coming. They did a good job at making us believe that Rex QB was the Ninetail Fox, or the Amazing Ninetales. You'd best explain yourself, Justice Donor, and from where you derived such a far-fetched conclusion. Jinxie no doubt knew the true identity of the Amazing Ninetales, but she couldn't tell anyone, no matter what. That's why she didn't say it was the amazing Ninetales she saw passed out. Even though, unbeknownst to her, it was really Florent Labelle in disguise.
Silence.
The accused and the deceitful dandy are utterly dissimilar in physical build and voice. The little scamp would have seen the difference. Remember, Mr. Labelle has his very own brand of cosmetics. I'm glad we're bringing this up. Why couldn't he fake a different build too? And anyone speaking through a mask would naturally sound different.
Silence.
Why did she not simply pull the mask off? A masked wrestler's disguise is more precious than life itself. As a huge fan of the amazing Ninetales, she would never dare unmask him. Oh, he's taking damage. You're taking damage. This case of mistaken identity also explains the riddle of the locked room. Then by all means, Mr. Justice, answer for us already. First, Mr. Labelle entered the room where the mayor and alderman were talking. I suspect he brought with him some coffee laced with some sort of sedative. Once the alderman was out cold, there we go. That's when Mr. Labelle killed him. Next, he took the mayor, who he had also drugged, into the Forbidden Chamber. Then he returned to the Fox Chamber, slipped into some of the mayor's spare of the same clothes, and completed the disguise by donning the amazing Ninetales mask. With his entire charade in place, Mr. Labelle then let out a scream. The scream that led Jinxie Tenma to the scene. So then... the person who said I killed Alderman QB was... Yep, that was Florent Labelle in disguise. The mayor never actually confessed. This is no more than guesswork and speculation. Stop your jabbering and... No, you twisted samurai. This time you stop your jabbering and let me finish making my case. Bro says shut the fuck up. I'm talking now, bro. Once Miss Temner left the scene, Mr. Labelle, still wearing the mayor's clothes and mask, opened the Forbidden Chamber so he could drag the mayor back out into the Fox Chamber. Oh, so the amazing Ninetales the mayor saw was... Right, it was Labelle opening the Forbidden Chamber. The second time Mr. Labelle opened the doors to the Forbidden Chamber, he happened to catch the thieving Mr. Filch by surprise. Startled, Mr. Filch in his Tenma Taro disguise ran as fast as he could away from the room, leaving the tracks everywhere. As he did, he left behind him a trail of feathers and tracks, and gave Miss Tenma the scare of her life in the hallway. With no one left to witness the events that had occurred, Mr. Labelle then proceeded to drag the sleeping mayor back into the Fox Chamber. I see, well that all certainly makes sense. Then after dragging the mayor back into the Fox Chamber, Mr. Labelle threw the mask out the window and fled the room. For this absurd theory to work, it requires the defendant to be the amazing Ninetales. However, he was the one pushing for the municipal merger. That such an individual could possibly be the amazing Ninetales is preposterous. The mayor was blackmailed into pursuing the merger. Miss Tenma's life would have been in danger if he had openly voiced his opposition. That's why he created secret identity as the amazing Ninetales. This is madness. No one could possibly hatch such an insane plot. No one except the killer as insane as his plot. And I'd say Florent Labelle more than qualifies. Oh, he's so mad. Foolish mortal, it is at your own peril that you forget who I am. Mayor Tenma, it's okay now. Jinxie will be safe just as soon as Mr. Labelle is arrested. You are the amazing Ninetales, aren't you? Labelle? New hair color. He changed his hair? Again? Well, back to his original. You have quite the active imagination. Mayor Tenma is not the amazing Ninetales. What do you mean? Well, has the MA admitted to it yet? But that's just... And even if he did admit to such nonsense, I would reveal the truth behind Tenma Taro right here and now. What? Why, you would dare reveal the secret? My good friend the Alderman told me all about it. Bro swapping alt colors like he's a fighting game character. For real. Fuck me. One sec. Okay, great. Okay. Oh, that's fun. Interesting. Alright, cool. Whew. But it wouldn't be good to expose the truth. What with the superstitions now, would it? The truth behind Tenma Taro? What's he talking about? So go ahead, say it. Say I am the amazing Nine Tails. I dare you.
Objection!
Wait! Will somebody please explain what's going on here? Mayor Tenma will do anything to keep the truth behind Tenma Taro a secret. A dark, terrible truth that has been kept secret by the village superstitions. And if the mayor admits to being the amazing Nine Tails, you'll expose the truth? Right. I won't have him walking free because of some nonsense you made up. So, what now, Justice Dono? Without the mayor's admission, your theory is as useless as you are in battle. I'll show you who's useless. Apollo, don't you dare give up now. I know. Your Honor, I believe Mr. LaBelle's statements warrant a thorough cross-examination. After all, the true identity of the amazing Nine Tails is the cornerstone of this case. You do have a point there. Please answer this court, Mr. LaBelle. Is the defendant the amazing Nine Tails or not? Ooh, we're getting there. Bear with me, I wish to take a bit of sushi. Okay. I'm getting comfy. Ooh, please don't break. Okay. Oh, the music's hype. This usually happens when we're towards the end of the case. Okay. The amazing Nine Tails' true identity is not Mayor Tenma. The mayor would never admit to such utter nonsense. But if he did admit to such nonsense, I will expose the truth behind Tenma Taro right here and now. And that would bring ruin upon Nine Tails Vale, just as a superstition to say. Well, that is basically what you've just been saying. Talk about out of the pot and into the fire. At this rate, the mayor will be found guilty for sure. Honestly speaking, if Mayor Damien Tenma is not the amazing Nine Tails, I'm afraid I don't see how the defense has much of a case here. And let's just leave it at that, shall we? We all know Alderman QB was the amazing Nine Tails anyway. I mean, that's how Nine Tail Vale made a comeback. The Alderman was so popular. There's got to be a hole in that testimony somewhere, but I don't even know where to start. Since we don't have any proof that the mayor is the amazing Nine Tails, then we'll just have to get him to admit it himself. But if he admits it, the bell's going to expose the secret behind Tenma Taro. Ah, we are so close, I know it. All right. How's the mayor supposed to admit to his secret identity now? Well, we have to find a way to make him say it, or our entire case unravels. There must be a hole in the testimony somewhere. I can't prove that. I can't prove that. What's going on here? Why would it bring ruin? Do not gaze upon Temataro. Do not tell others if you see him. Isn't that what the village superstitions say? Exactly. Telling others what Temataro looks like would reveal the truth. That's why the superstitions were written down in the first place. And ruin coming to the village if you free him, is that not a warning? Is that a warning not to expose the truth? Wait, hold on. Oh, I don't have the book anymore. Fuck. Bingo. That truth is, Tenma Taro is a great greed-inspiring fortune. That's what the whole battle over Ninetales Vale is about. Tenma Taro is a great fortune? Come to think of it. Only that is the greatest get rich quick chance in the universe. Grandpappy told me all about it. Said there's an amazing treasure in there. Could Tenma Taro actually be? Telling the villagers that Tenmo Taro is a terrifying yokai is one to scare them away from the forbidden chamber and the treasure within. That's how the treasure has been kept secret all this time. Well. It seems our ace attorney here has uncovered the truth that must not be revealed. Mayor Tenma looks like he wants to keep the truth hidden as much as I do. Tragedy is doomed to repeat itself as long as Tenma Taro exists. That's why the secret must be protected. As long as Tenma Taro exists, huh? Mr. LaBelle, please add that statement to your testimony. Tragedy is doomed to repeat as long as Tenma Taro exists. Huh? Wait, we've established that it's a treasure rather than a thingy. Let me press this statement again. Oh, press this new statement first. So in other words, tragedy wouldn't occur at all if there were no Tenma Taro. Yes, I suppose so, but that's wishful. This is LaBelle. Yes, you don't say. As long as Tenma Taro exists, huh? Right, okay. That little statue, whatever it's called, it's meant to be a calling card. So Tenma Taro is actually a treasure, and Tenma Taro they're saying that Tenma Taro is actually a yokai to scare people away, but Tenma Taro is actually a treasure. This is a calling card to say that, hey, I stole it.
Objection!
Yeah, okay. Mr. LaBelle, what if Tenma Taro no longer existed? Revealing the truth would no longer be an issue, would it? If Tenma Taro no longer existed? What on earth are you talking about? Oh, apparently you haven't heard. Tenma Taro no longer exists. But I guess you didn't get to do a thorough search after the key was taken from you. Because when we searched the forbidden chamber, there wasn't any treasure there. Really? Or maybe you weren't looking in the right place. Sorry, but I have proof that Tenma Taro no longer exists. Take a look at this figure. My feet are no longer on the ground, so I can't use my foot pedal to move my camera, so I'm just going to use the keyboard version. When I say my feet are no longer on the ground, I'm in a more comfy position and sort of resting my feet on Sophie's chair, actually. Take a look at this figure. What do we have here? It looks like some sort of creature. We found this in the forbidden chamber. It's an Azuki Kozo figure. The great thief Azuki Kozo used to leave them at the scene of his crimes. Are you suggesting that Tenma Taro has been stolen? Yep. Phineas Filch's grandfather, Master Thief, was the culprit. And by that hideous moronic caretaker's grandfather, no less. No! Yo, he's tweaking out. My beautiful golden Tenma Taro was... The greed inspired by Tenma Taro can no longer bring ruin upon Nine-Tails Vale. Isn't that right, Mayor Tenma? The root of tragedy would indeed seem to be gone. In fact, I now recall the alderman revealing that secret to me on the day of our meeting. He must have been speaking of Tenma Taro, for he said to me the gold ingot was gone. The gold ingot? You mean the treasure that is Tenma Taro's true form? Recall, if you will, the scroll in the Forbidden Chamber. Oh yes, there was an ingot, yes. Tenma Taro is the yellowish object shown there. A giant gold ingot that my nomadic ancestors bestowed upon Nine-Tails Vale. They spelt tails wrong in that line there. A giant gold ingot that my nomadic ancestors bestowed upon Nine-Tails, as in the story, Vale. And then even in the next line, they say it the correct way. So that was a bit weird. Land that would become Tenma Town, but drive the villagers mad with greed did that great fortune. Bitter was their greed-fueled battle. It was as if they were possessed. My ancestors' gold became as a curse upon their village, a curse of ruin. Thus it was that the yokai Tenma Taro came to be. So Tenma Taro and the village superstitions were merely fairy tales to scare people away. Fairy tale or not, Tenma Taro made quite the mess of things. Yes, indeed, for there is no greater monster than a mortal man's lust for gold. Well, you know what they say, the love of money is the root of all evil. My ancestors did bring a terrible thing here to Nine-Tails Vale. A thing so terrible that Tenma Taro, a monster just as terrible, had to be created to keep it a secret. Yet we have naught but love for the little village to which we owe our very existence. Tenma Taro will never seek to take over Nine-Tails Vale in a merger. Oh my, that was quite shocking. That was quite a shocking lesson in history. Mr. Mayor, now that we know Tenma Taro no longer exists, are you ready to admit to your secret? You are the amazing Nine-Tails, aren't you? Ah boy, here we go. No, don't do it. Please, no. Oh, I'm about to do it. He about to do it. Be gone, you demented demon. Oh, he's back. Now, where was I? The golden lord of yokai. The amazing Nine-Tails is indeed me. There we go. Cook him. We're on the offensive now. We're gonna cook his ass. And that means Jinxie. Yes? The man wearing the mayor's clothes who you saw collapsed in the fox chamber, was he wearing the Nine-Tails mask? Uh-huh. That's what made me think it was Papa. He said he was going to reveal his secret identity to Alderman QB that day, so... It really wasn't Papa I saw there, was it? It was Florence's idea from the start. He advised me to reveal my secret identity to the Alderman. Yeesh, Rube Goldberg machines have less elaborate setups than this. You may rest easy now, little Jinxie. That monster's deception is thorough. The true facts behind this case have finally come to light. Mayor Tenma did not kill Alderman QB, but Florent LaBelle did. How dare you, peasant! Oh, he's bugging out. Did we get him?
Silence!
Oh, for fuck's sake. Black Quill will not take this line down. Justice Donna. You should at least have a real blade in your hand if you desire to cross swords with me. Or have you mistaken this battlefield for a training ground? Huh? What's this guy want now? No fucking way indeed. Evidence is like a razor-sharp blade that cuts through bone as though it was butter. But you have only blind guesses. A dull blade incapable of even cutting a cake. Yells you there, Mr. Justice. After all, evidence is everything in a court of law. But they're right. Let's see some evidence. Of course, a perfect being like me wouldn't leave any incriminating evidence behind. This is the final battle. Just as a samurai must live and die by the sword, you will live or die by the evidence you hold. My swift blade of justice, of judgment awaits. Now, present your conclusive evidence. Or don't you have any? Oh, crud. Do I have anything conclusive? I better. Evidence? Oh, but I have evidence. You do? Of course. It's just the conclusive evidence we need. I'm finally going to prove Mayor Tenma innocent. I'm going to finally prove Mayor Tenma innocent. Here comes justice. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, we're going into Danganronpa mode? Come now. Let's lock in. Let's review. Well, let me get this in front of me. Let's review the facts. The most damning evidence against the mayor was the crime scene itself. The mayor and the victim were the only two people found in the room. Also, we all thought the alderman was killed because he was the amazing Ninetales. But as we know now, of course, we were way off. The amazing Ninetales was really Mayor Damien Tenma. That's why when his daughter Jinxie saw the amazing Ninetales collapse at the scene, she mistook him for her father. Those are the facts that we've revealed. However, Mr. LaBelle asserts that he did not leave any evidence at the scene of the crime. But he didn't say anything about evidence outside the crime scene. Oh, I know what this is. Maybe he isn't as clever as he thinks he is. Does any of the evidence found outside the crime scene provide any clues? This one. Yeah. A clue inside the mask? Oh, this is Danganronpa! Right now. Oh, I know. The amazing Ninetales mask. It was found washed up along the river. What sort of clue does that mask hold? White hair. Oh, this is cool. What about the hair left in the mask? Who does it belong to? Florent LaBelle. The white hair is Florent LaBelle's. Oh, right. That hair is Florent LaBelle's. Yes. Now that's what I call conclusive evidence. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have any conclusive evidence to present to the court? Of course I do. Thing is, I was already here. I did say this, right? I was way ahead of the game's logic, but we got to do it the way the game wants me to do it. So, of course I do. Observe this mask, if you will. That mask? How is that conclusive evidence? It's not the mask itself, but the white hair inside it. We originally thought it belonged to Alderman Rex Cuby. Yes, but the amazing Ninetales, as we now know, is Mayor Tenma, so that is correct. So the question is, whose hair could this be? And the answer to that is the last person to have worn it before it was discarded. That would be you, Mr. Florent LaBelle. What are you talking about? I never had hideous white hair like that.
Silence.
It would appear your coup de grace failed to hit his mark. This freakish fop is not the white hair type, because he's busy being one ludicrously garish color or another. No, Prosecutor Blackwell, it's you who has made a fatal error. What? Remember where this mask was found? It was washed up by the side of the river. With that in mind, this last piece of evidence will solve all of the remaining riddles. Shit, yes! He didn't dye it white. His hair is actually white. And it washes out with water. And so if it came out of the river, the color's all gone. His hair is actually white. That's... What is that? This is LaBelle's own private brand of hair color. It washes out with just water. The court will also recall that the amazing Ninetales mask washed up alongside the village river, with white hair inside of it. He's picking up what I'm putting down. What's this? Are you saying that preening peacock's hair color is? That's exactly what I'm saying. Mr. LaBelle's hair color is a freaky work of fiction, but thanks to the river flowing through Ninetails Vale, we now have a real-life expose. The white hair in this mask is conclusive evidence, proving that you're the real killer. A DNA test is all we need to prove it, and we both know we'll get a match. Admit it. Florent LaBelle, you were the... Oh, there we go. That's clean. You were the one who killed Alderman Rex QB. Crash out imminent. You, peasant. How dare you? Ah! My profane beauty, I'm going to exterminate you like I did the Alderman. Oh my god, he's crashing it the fuck out. Oh man. There it is. Hello, this is LaBelle. What? The project is off? This is LaBelle. The sponsors have pulled out? Everyone was watching the live on TV, bro. I'm fired? You mean I'm no longer Mayor Tenma's aide? Hello, what? There's a stratospheric damages claim against me? $100 million? I'm finished. Washed up. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. Oh, he's done. Blackwell, this is preposterous. I, Simon Blackwell, defeated. Order in the court, baby. We did it. Got him. And how long did it take me? Oh, almost 5 hours, Christ. Well, this is quite the unexpected outcome. I must hand it to you, Mr. Justice. You really turned this case on its head, just like that other lawyer. Phoenix Wright. Wait, was that a compliment? That was a compliment, right? Prosecutor Blackwell, what have you done with Florent LaBelle? The defaced man has withered like a flower without water. One of the officers is currently tending to him with a sprinkler. Wouldn't that just wash even more of his makeup off? Allow me to explain the actions of the guilty party in detail. The motive, of course, was to steal the gold ingot known as Tenma Taro. However, few are allowed into the manor due to its cultural ties to Ninetails Vale. LaBelle set in motion plans to gain access to the manor and the gold within the merger, but the efforts of the amazing Ninetails saw those plans come to a halt. And thus LaBelle murdered the alderman and attempted to pin the blame on Mayor Tenma. I see, but what I still can't comprehend is why he would go after the gold in the first place. Mr. LaBelle doesn't look like someone who is in need of financial aid. LaBelle hid his past well, much like he hid his beauty with makeup. He is mired in debt. Debt due to pouring money into a brand only he could love. Which is why he sought the gold with such veracity. Too bad for him, someone else had gotten to it first anyway. I see. Very well then. I believe it's time I declared a verdict. This court finds the defendant Damien Tenma not guilty. We are here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally there. Oh yeah. That's the only pose you could do. Court is adjourned. Done. That was some seriously good lawyering, Apollo. Even I didn't see that coming. Just got lucky, I guess. You banished Tenma Taro from Ninetails Vale like you were some kind of exorcist. There's still one thing I don't understand. How come Mr. LaBelle didn't kill Mayor Tenma too? Imagine doing all this shit for treasure that was already snatched. That is the craziest thing about it. All for nothing. He could have set it up so the mayor murdered the alderman, then died from a counterattack. That would have removed at least one possible fly from the ointment. I was wondering about that too, but I have a hunch Mr. LaBelle was biding his time. He was planning on exposing the amazing Ninetales' true identity himself. Huh? But why? Because the mayor was the amazing Ninetales. Had LaBelle succeeded in framing Mayor Tenma for the alderman's murder, the wrestler's popularity would have plummeted once his identity was revealed. Oh, I get it. If the amazing Ninetales was just killed, he'd die a hero, but if he was proved a villain, his fans would abandon him, making the merger that much easier. Right. Then when the merger was complete and everything cooled down, he'd be able to search the Forbidden Chamber at his leisure. What an insanely intricate plot. A most excellent job clearing my name. A feat worthy of the Demon Lord's approval. Why are you acting like Tenma Taro again? Let this be of no concern of you. How could it not concern me? Tenma Taro, be gone! Jinxie, seems like ages since I've laid eyes on you. Papa, you're finally back! Yes, it would seem Tenma Taro is no match for you. I'm not scared of that silly yokai anymore. Your father's a free man now, Jinxie. Isn't that great? Thank you for all you've done. Seeing you guys in action, Aww! Do it for the smile, ladies and gentlemen. Do it for the smile. It made me feel like I don't have to be afraid anymore. Wait, is Jinxie actually smiling? This is all thanks to you two. Too bad the amazing Ninetales will have to retire though. Aw, how come? Once everyone hears I'm the amazing Ninetales, my fan base will nosedive. After all, I'm not the most popular of people. Another reason for my secret identity. I don't see how I could possibly continue. Well, I think you've misjudged yourself. Take a look outside. Say, now that you mention it, what's all that noise outside? A big crowd gathered outside the courthouse once the news broke. Seems like they want to get a glimpse of Mayor Damien Temna, the man behind the mask, and to root for your return to the wrestling ring. Rooting for me? But I thought I was nothing more than a malefactor in their eyes. The only one who really matters is Jinxie. Show her how cool you really are. Yeah, you're the coolest when you're out. Yeah, you're the coolest when you're out there fighting in the ring, Papa. Jinxie. Here, I think you'll be needing this.
Take that!
Thank you. Now, if you would excuse me. I don't want to keep my fans waiting. Hey, yo. That's crazy.
Ninetales forever!
So Tenma Taro is actually jacked underneath all of that. I sure hope they can settle the problems between Tenma Town and Ninetales Vale. Me too. I'm sure they'll be fine. After all, the blackmailer slash killer is behind bars, and the merger is no longer an issue. Plus, the amazing Ninetales obviously still a hit, and I suspect Ninetales Vale will be too. Bro, it's aura farming. Honestly, he fucking deserves it. And it's all because we believed in our client, just like he said. Okay, people, now that we've got that one in the bag, let's go get something to eat. I'm starving. Sounds good. I've been so nervous I haven't eaten since yesterday. Better keep eating, Apollo, or you might have to start looking up at me. Huh? I'm definitely past my growth phase, and you should be about past yours too. Are you kidding me? I'm just getting started. Ready or not, it's face stuffing time. Keep eating like that, and the only direction you'll grow is sideways. Very funny, but I've got a hollow leg. I can eat... Huh? What does that mean? Anyway, I can eat as much as I want without gaining an ounce. Really? Wow, I can't wait to see this. Calories? Ha! Just let him try and stick in me. All right, ready, you two. Let's get going before the old man closes shop. Eldune's Noodles. Eldune's Noodles. Remember the Eldune's Noodles? From the Apollo Justice game? Was that in the Apollo Justice? It was in one of the games. Other games. Isn't an all-night stand, you know. Wasn't the fact that it's called Eldune like one of the things? One of the big like parts of that case that involved that noodle stand? Because it was noodles backwards. Anyway, I'm with Mr. Wright. Let's go. I've been waiting to have a bowl from there ever since Mr. Wright told me about them. Well, what are we waiting for? The noodles are on me today, so I expect some serious eating from you two. Yay! Thanks, boss. I won't let you down. Athena has no idea what she's getting into. Mr. Eldoon's noodles are so hot and salty. 2 bowls could kill a man. Oh, wait, stop. Fuck, stop. I can't go back. Little did I know. Oh, it's automatic. Little did I know that something's lurking. The first time it made itself known was during the murder at the Themis Legal Academy. That case would mark the twilight before the dark, cold night that was to come. So I press X to see the whole text come up rather than let it type. But on certain dialogues, when it's automatic and you can't do anything about it, it skips to the next. If I press X, it skips to the next box. So I don't know what she said really in total. Anyway, that's just done. Yeah, I'm on. We're on. Shit. We're on this one.